everybody, this is Crystal from Fit Fire Train. I'm just going to talk about briefly the stuff that I run at the tactical games. I didn't start out with a lot of this stuff. It's just kind of how the sport has evolved for me equipment wise. It does take a lot of equipment, so don't think that you have to spend thousands of dollars initially to get all of this stuff tricked out. This is just what I use for where I'm at with my tactical games journey. So let's start with the vest. I'm running a Faro Concepts Slickster with Jackrabbit plates inside the women's version. I actually run the first ever women's plates that my buddy Rabbit made. So I am the prototype for him, so I feel pretty cool about that. Like I say, Faro Concepts Slickster. I haven't had any issues with this. It's great because it has the pockets for the extra magazines, because sometimes we need 4 or 5 magazines for a stage. So I'll usually use the one out of this pouch first, just to get it out of the way. My belt is an Amazon special. I have no idea what brand. Actually, I do. Maybe it's on here somewhere. I don't know. It's some cheap Amazon thing that has an underbelt that goes through the belt loops, and then this just goes over. And it works for me. I didn't spend a whole lot of money on it, and I have been wearing it now for 2 years. It's got a Cobra buckle, and I have had zero issues with it. And my thinking is, doing this sport costs enough money. Why not save where you can? So this is a cheap belt from Amazon with a Cobra buckle. These are S-Tac magazine pouches for my handgun pouches. I run a Blackhawk Omnivore holster. Have had 0 issues with that. Just need to put a TLR1 on whatever firearm handgun you're using, and it will work perfectly for me. I've never had an issue with my gun falling out, anything like that. I run 4 handgun magazine pouches on my belt and 3 rifle mags. These are S-Tac rifle mags, and then I have attached to it 2 high-speed gear pouches on the outside. They're both, one's a rifle mag and one's a handgun mag. So as you'll see, I don't run anything on my vest. I like to have everything on my belt just for those climbing events that you have to get over stuff. And also cleans. The closer the bar is to your body, it's easier to get up. So I run everything on my belt. I don't run a dump pouch. I don't run a med kit. All of those things you don't need. You want to be as light and nimble as possible. My Ear Pro, these have been my go-to ever since I won them in Iowa. The Decibels, they're custom. You custom mold them to your ears, and I have had 0 issues with them. I really like them. The over-the-ear ones are great, but they do get in the way for the movements that we're doing. I've had no issues with these falling out, so I really like them. My iPro are Gators Ballistics. They are, the coolest thing about these are that they are transition lenses, so I don't have to worry about having clear and dark lenses. They do that on their own. So I really like these, and they offer a law enforcement or a first responder discount, in case you were wondering. My handgun is a Staccato XL. I really like this gun. It is so smooth. It is probably the best handgun I've ever owned, and it has, as long as you keep it oiled, and I tune the extractor every time I take it apart, just to make sure it's still tight, and I clean that extractor tube out. It is run for me perfectly. It shoots much better than I have a capability of shooting, so I really like this gun. It was worth every penny. Just this year, I got a Trijicon SRO that I threw on top of it. Great thing about the XL is it came with the optics plate already, so I didn't have to spend the extra money to have this milled or anything. It was optics ready. So threw the SRO on top. As you can see, I've occluded it with this fancy, super expensive painter's tape. And then it's got the TLR Run 1. Pretty much the only reason for that is so it fits in the Omnivore holster. But I really like this gun. Make sure when you get, if you do purchase a gun like this, I think it only came with 3 magazines. So plan on purchasing at least a couple more. I now have 6 of them that I use. I don't separate them from like training magazines or duty magazines. I just like to try to keep an eye on them and make sure that the feed lips are at the right spec and that they don't get too warped or anything. So just keep an eye on that. Now to the meat and potatoes. I'll start with my backup rifle. Both of these rifles I built myself, upper and lower. This has an EOTech Voodoo 1 to 10 on it with a worn mount. If you're going to spend money on something rifle related, make sure that you spend money on the barrel and the mount and optics system. So everything else, we can get into that in another video, but everything else can pretty much be whatever you want, but make sure you don't skimp on the barrel. This is my backup rifle. It is very similar to my actual rifle that I use. It is a 13.6 barrel. I believe it's an Anderson barrel. I can't remember what I put on here. It has a Superlative Arms adjustable gas block on it. And then everything else is, I got a PSA competition trigger in there, which is very nice because it's not as expensive as a Hyperfire and it shoots pretty much the same, which is interesting. Everything else is, I got a Palmetto State lower, Magpul furniture, bad lever. It really comes in handy for what we do, especially the clearing stuff that we have, the making our weapon clear. I super suggest getting a bad lever. It's like $25 and it takes 2 seconds to put on. It will make you so much faster in this sport. So that's my backup rifle. The rifle that I actually use, again, I built it myself. Daniel Defense barrel, Daniel Defense gas system, Daniel Defense bolt, Daniel Defense buttstock and grip. Grip is super comfortable. I could probably have saved some money and gotten a cheaper grip, but this one is super comfortable for me. So it's pretty much Daniel Defense except for the actual upper and lower receiver and the handguard. I had some issues with my rifle last year and decided to just go full Daniel, pretty much full Daniel Defense. That way I knew everything was going to be really good quality. The mount is another Warren mount. That's WARNE. They also offer a first responder discount if you're interested. Super good mount. It is pricey, but I do think that the issues I was having with my rifle last year related to the cheaper mount that I bought. So if you're gonna spend money on something, make it your optic, your mount, and then your barrel. This is a Vortex Razor 1 to 10 first focal plane. I really like this LPVO. The glass is super clear. I haven't had any issues with it, with any of the stages that they've thrown at us. This has a Hyperfire trigger and safety in it. It has another thing both of these rifles have are BCM recoil mitigation buffer systems. $150, probably the best thing I've put on both of these guns. To me, it really helps, and I can't suggest that enough. BCM recoil mitigation buffer system. I really like it. As you can see, this also has a bad lever and an extended mag release on here. And yeah, I really like it. I just put this through an armorer's course, so it's probably the cleanest it's ever been. I hear a lot of questions about slings. This is a Magpul MS1 sling. I've had no issues with it. I really like it. There's a Blue Force sling on that other one. It's not my favorite sling, but obviously it's on my backup rifle, so I use it if I have to, but I can switch slings out. That's no big deal. So I can't reiterate enough. You don't go out and spend thousands of dollars on your stuff. You don't need to do that. If you have an AR and a plate carrier and a handgun, start with that. Start with where you're at, pick an event and sign up and work with what you have. You will learn over time. You don't need to drop thousands of dollars. I didn't start with any of this stuff that you see on the table. But I've just learned that to be competitive in the division that I'm in, I got to have good quality equipment. But it wasn't stuff that I bought all at once. It's stuff that I've gained over time. So any questions about anything that I have on here, I'd be happy to talk to you about equipment. I'm a gear nerd. What I don't wear to the tactical games is those tactical leggings. I'm not that girl. So if you see the line of the women's elite division, I'm not the one in the tactical leggings. I'm usually the one wearing the jorts. which are the most versatile piece of clothing that I wear. You can dress them up for church. You can wear them on the firing line. So if you see pictures from the tactical games, I'm not wearing the tactical tights. So I can't give you a review on those. Other than that, I would be happy to talk to you about any of this stuff. Thanks, guys.